After 11 long years in the NBA, it's looking like Bradley Beal's tenure with Washington is finally coming to an end. Honestly, long overdue at this point, but it's happening, so that's all that matters. Now, Bradley Beal is getting shipped to the Phoenix Suns in return for, I want to say, Landry Shamet, an old Chris Paul who's probably most likely heading into the buyout market, along with 2 second-round picks and a few pick swaps. So yes, the return for Bradley Beal is lackluster, but what Washington is really getting out of this is getting out of that nasty big supermax contract that they gave him. So good for Washington. I mean, they're heading into rebuild mode, so obviously Bradley Beal does not fit the timeline. And if that's the case, the best they could do was ship off, get his salary off the books, and get an old Chris Paul in return. Now, like I said, Chris Paul is heading into the buyout market, so who knows what team he's playing for? Hopefully Los Angeles. But Landry Shamet is probably the best piece they got in that deal, and going off of trades in the past, he might stick around for 2 or 3 years before getting moved on, because I doubt Landry Shamet is part of the rebuild. He'd be pretty useful to a contender, maybe Memphis or Miami if they lose Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero. Maybe Miami trades for a star and they're going to need depth. Landry Shamet would be perfect there. But for now, it's looking like Washington got absolutely fleeced. So the best move for Washington from here on out is maybe they trade for a top 3 pick. Like I said, there were reports that Kristaps Porzingis and the Trailblazers were looking at swapping their top 3 pick for Porzingis in a deal, so that's a possibility. And if so, huge comeback for the Wizards. I mean, Portland would be getting absolutely fleeced. That's terrible for Portland, but great for Washington, who's been a shitty organization since the day that MJ left. I mean, they weren't really good with MJ, but they haven't been good since, so there's that. Now, as for Phoenix, they have one of, if not the best starting 5 in the NBA, and I couldn't tell you the 5th person. You see, at the guard position, they're going to have a nasty duo of Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. Those are 2 top 20 guards in the league right there. Fantastic. And at small forward, you're looking at Kevin Durant. Now, power forward, I'm sure they can find some guy on the minimum to sign real quick. Who wouldn't love to play in Phoenix with all those superstars? And at center, they have DeAndre Ayton. Now, maybe DeAndre Ayton is shipped off in the coming weeks. Who knows? But for now, DeAndre Ayton is on the roster, and he was on the team when they made that run in 2021 and made it all the way to the finals. He was very key and pivotal there, so maybe they see some value with sticking him around. Of course, he is not worth the top whatever pick that he was drafted with. I'm pretty sure he was 1st overall. Yeah, he's not 1st overall talent, but he is good enough to stay around. Now, as for their bench, 2K auto-generated players. That is who they're going to have on the bench. All guys, all veterans on minimum deals who are looking to ring chase at this point. That's probably who they'll get. Hell, they might get Jamal Crawford out of retirement, or Lou Will. Maybe Lou Will comes out of retirement to play for Phoenix. Who knows? However, what I do know is that the reason that Washington was forced to make this deal in particular is because Bradley Beal was one of, if not the only player in the NBA to be given a full no-trade clause. Meaning that not only did he get to choose where he wanted to go, but he got to decide what he was getting traded for. Because he did not want to be sent in a deal to a team who was giving up too many assets and depleting their own roster. He didn't want to hurt the team that he was going to. Say, Miami. I mean, Miami, if they were to trade for Bradley Beal, they would have had to give up way more. I'm talking Duncan Robinson, probably Tyler Hero, just to maybe match salaries. So yes, that Miami deal would have been better for the Wizards, but it would have been worse for Bradley Beal, which is why they ended up going with the Phoenix Suns offer. Now, Bradley Beal is lifting his no-trade clause to accommodate the deal to a Suns franchise that is super top-heavy. Like I said, he's going to be joining a bunch of superstars, and the bargaining agreement designed to severely limit the roster flexibility of teams above the second apron of luxury tax at $117 million, meaning it's going to cost the Phoenix Suns owner Matt Ishbia a ton of money. But Matt Ishbia knew this going into the trade. He's looking to win now. And of course, that's what they're going to have to do, because I promise you, in 3 years, at most, one of these superstars is still going to be on the team. Honestly, Kevin Durant won't be around in 3 years. He'll probably be a little too old at that point. Maybe Devin Booker sticks around, and I doubt that they're going to want a mid-30-year-old Bradley Beal on the team. So, they are in win-now mode more than ever, and if they don't get a ring in this little run, they are screwed for the next decade, because they are basically giving up the future to do all of this. Now, the reason that Washington isn't getting any first-round picks out of this deal is because Phoenix had none to give up. They were all being controlled by the Brooklyn Nets, who they gave all those picks to for Kevin Durant. So now their first-round picks are gone, or they're either swaps, and their second-round picks have all gone to Washington, meaning that the future is not looking bright in Phoenix. The long-term future. The present future is looking great. I mean, these next 2 years, if Phoenix doesn't win a chip, it'd be like the same way Brooklyn failed to win a chip. And of course, Kevin Durant is getting another super team, because that's all this man knows how to do, is build super teams and fail. He knows how to build super teams and fail, unless it's in Golden State's system, in which he goes ahead and wins two rings and steals them from LeBron. Yes, he ruined LeBron's legacy. Whatever, KD. Fine. Ruined LeBron's legacy. It's cool. Now, after 11 years with the Wizards, who drafted him number 3 overall in 2013, Beal is nearing 30 years old and agreed with Winger that the franchise is without a quick fix route option to continue. So they're heading into rebuild mode. And now, talking about rebuild mode, what does Washington's future look like? Well, they have Kristaps Porzingis on the books. Honestly, I mean, Porzingis might have been nice the first 2 years in the NBA. After that, he got injured with the Knicks, I'm pretty sure. And he's just not the same player. I mean, he was decent on the Wizards, probably. No one covers the damn Wizards, so I don't know how good he was. But I'm sure he was nice. And Washington is absolutely screwed. I mean, hell, where does Washington go from there? What bright future do they have? They traded Rui Hachimura. Kyle Kuzma is going to be a free agent. Their last pick, the guy that was in the Taco Bell commercial, Johnny Davis. Yeah, no idea what's happening with him. I'm pretty sure he's a bust. So Washington, I think they have a top 10 pick. We'll see what they do with that. Number 8. Honestly, I would hate to be a Wizards fan. Things are going to be miserable. But if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, you're up. You control the West, not Ja Morant. Is this team good enough to beat the Denver Nuggets? Because that's what all these NBA teams are doing right now. They're trying to build a team in the summer that will be good enough to beat the Denver Nuggets come June. That's really what matters. So, if we look at the roster, maybe all this talent overmatches what Jokic and Jamal Murray have going on. But honestly, if they can't have a big man in the post to stop Jokic, as proven in the NBA playoffs, then you're going to stand no chance. So, who thinks that DeAndre Ayton is really going to have a chance? I mean, hell, wait. No, the Nuggets actually beat the Suns in this year's playoffs, and DeAndre Ayton got bodied. So, maybe Bradley Beal, boosts up the scoring to the point where the Nuggets can't match it. But I'm looking at a team who's probably finishing top 3 in the West, and I say their stars, their core 4, I guess if you count Ayton, I'd give them about 50 games together, because as you know, these superstars who team up love to get hurt, love to miss a ton of games. So unfortunately, while I'm not praying for an injury, I doubt that these guys will be healthy all together throughout the season. But if they are, then they'll be able to build some strong chemistry and possibly make a run. Who knows? Anyway, fantastic deal for the Suns, terrible deal for the Wizards, but when have the Wizards ever made good deals? All right, catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces.